Yo, what up, compadres? Welcome back to another episode. It's your host with the most from the West Coast, SB Press, and I got Lance the Man in the house.
Yep.
Rizad and his eye.
How you guys doing today?
And reporting live from Mastermind Media. Just giving y'all a brief synopsis on today's episode. As always, we got our NFL recap.
Woo.
Okay, we're gonna be talking about some bar foods here and there.
Nice.
And the dark and light side of the DMs, ladies and gentlemen. And thank y'all for tuning in as always. We here.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get
What do you
it,
think
no
about
doubt.
Jim Carrey's career?
Monumental. That he's on a Mount Rushmore all by himself, pretty much. For me, I discovered him at a very young age. First film that I seen in the movies was Liar Liar. After that, everything else was just The Mask and Ace Ventura, Peck Detective Agency. Those things for me was what caught it on, and then I got into the whole Saturday Night Live, Mad TV and stuff. But I wonder, what was one of your favorite Jim Carrey films?
Oh man, you said them all. Ace Ventura was legendary, right? We remember the Miami kick. It really broke down a lot of different things, but his performance in Living Color, for him to be, trend-setting the way he was.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I mean, I loved, Fire Marshal Bill. And you
man.
everybody knows that, especially if you grew up in that era.
Of course.
I was around there.
We all were, So definitely, you go back and listen. It's definitely Jim Carrey is one of the greats.
So you do all very agrees he's one of the greats, right?
Yes.
You know what's funny to me? It's not a particular movie he did. That documentary on Netflix about being Andy Kaufman was just amazing.
Amazing.
And he is a true actor. I mean, he's amazing. I really enjoyed that documentary more than any of his films, just to see all the people's reactions and how he was when he was on set and doing his role.
The work was second to none.
Yeah, he was in character the whole time.
Exactly.
I mean, for months ahead of time.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Exactly.
He did it.
He was prepping himself to just be that
lived
individual.
Andy Kaufman. That's who he was.
It was that great to see. And Jim Carrey definitely legendary, man.
Exactly.
I mean, he can be funny. He can serious.
Right.
I mean,
some
what's
great,
the Eternal
great
Sunshine? I mean, that was another great act. The
Bruce Almighty.
Almighty.
Bruce Almighty was a good one.
It was that.
Even his role as what was it, the Riddler and Batman and Robin, I believe.
His spandex suit.
Oh my!
I thought he might have been. I would like to see him play Joker.
How'd you feel about Joaquin Phoenix play on it?
It was too. It got out of the fun of it, the character, I think, and it went a different route. Which a lot of people enjoyed it. I watched it one time. I'll never watch it again. But when you go through all the other Batmans and the Joker characters, they were just so fun and so funny, and
Except for Jared Leto.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna talk about that guy.
Right.
Heath Ledger, though. I mean, he. Character, bro.
And his
Jack Nicholson.
I like Jack. See, I like Jack.
Those are portrayals.
I like Jack a
Good
lot.
ones.
He was. That's what I liked, and I did. And Heath was good. It was a little dark too, but I like just the funny ones part of it.
And just also a little back twist to this new Joker film that he's doing. The next one's supposed to have Lady Gaga in it.
I've seen something of that nature.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a musical.
As we digress, but it was funny though. Definitely, Jim Carrey is definitely a legend and well worth to talk about, man.
You know what's legendary? Joe's favorite part of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Weirdo of the Week.
You're weird.
Let me kick this off first.
All right.
With this weird weather here in California, we've been getting some rain. Joe makes fun of me by calling the wind nothing. He's like, you just cold, man. You don't like this wind. This ain't cold.
But it's funny to me how you just try to mock my voice first.
I
but
didn't do it
secondly,
deep enough.
I mean, it's like, come on, dude. It's raining a little bit, and I'm working, and I'm bartending, and everyone looked the phone went off at the same time. Flash flood warning. It's like, okay,
Yeah, take a moment for that.
But I will say this: it is cold,
Yeah, but
chilly. It's nice.
my weirdos are the motorcycle riders in the rain. I don't understand that. It's already it's already a shit show when it's not raining, regular weather. They just weaving through. But why are you riding a motorcycle in the rain? There's no traction.
Right.
There was an individual on Sepulveda whose motorcycle slid underneath somebody else's car.
Is he okay?
Yeah, they both, were walking and talking. He was solid.
You have to remember, this is their form of transportation, maybe.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I don't disagree with you in a way, but I mean, if it's their only form of transportation, what do we want them to do? I couldn't do it.
And for the rest of the country, like, what are some of the Los Angeles motorcycle laws? Like, they're so much different than everywhere else,
Right.
If you think about it, I mean, the middle lane, you can ride the white line.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
I just found that out.
It's very difficult, man. Definitely being a motorcyclist in Los Angeles. So yeah, man, it's crazy.
Harleys, ninjas, all of them, any type.
All of them. Yeah, they're all. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of become custom that you see your motorcycle coming up in your rear view or your side mirror, and you veer
Coast
off
off
to the side to let them slide by. Because, like we say, in Los Angeles, they can ride the white dotted lane. Right. So.
One thing I don't like though, if I steer off to let you go through, give me the thumbs up, bro. Give me the thumbs up, man. I didn't have to be nice.
That's right. You tell him, P. You tell him
I'll
what's
be
up,
nice,
P. You
man.
let him know what's up.
Common
be nice.
courtesy,
I'm a
man.
nice
That's all I
man.
ask. Common courtesy. But I guess
Trying
like
to do you a
common
favor,
sense.
show some respect, right? Yeah, you tell him, P. You tell him what's
Respect to
good.
the road,
Definitely
man. Who's tackling the weirdo?
So last week I was getting ready for work, and somehow I think my dog actually hit the remote and it changed it to the news channel, which I never really watch, and they had this speed chase going on. Like, this guy stole the semi and it's just flying down, and it's going on, and then Lance calls and it's still going on, and I tell him what's going on. I go, dude, this shit pisses me off so bad because for so many reasons. First of all, I understand that we need to know what's going on these freeways right now. But dude, it gets to the point, the guy's going 5 miles talking about where it's stolen from, what area code he's in now, where he's going. He's got a sign up. You're
A GoFundMe account for bailing them out.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much going on. You're wasting so much money on law enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
People can't get anywhere. And it goes to the news for dragging it out. Then you see it turn on fire, and then stopped. He gets out. They arrest him, and then they show the traffic backed up for 28 miles.
How
like
long did you
proper.
actually watch this?
I didn't really watch it. It was on. I was in the background, and then I got ready, and then I saw the flame. I'm like, and people love this.
Oh, it's
So many details.
It's so huge in Los Angeles.
People, yeah.
Southern California especially. I mean,
It's just unbelievable how many people were intrigued by it. And I just think it's weird that people like it so much.
They literally fight for airspace. The different
Yes.
news stations to cover these
Yes.
chases. You understand that, and then on top of that, you got the police helicopter that is lawfully supposed to be there.
Exactly.
So
And that's what needs to be there.
so funny.
It's just so funny. But we're gonna bring someone in today. We're gonna bring in Mark from Mastermind Media to talk about his weirdo experience. So he's coming in right
in the
now.
house, y'all.
I'll
Very
say
special
Michigan
guest.
native.
Hey.
Great individual.
Now,
right
is
here.
that Michigan green or Michigan blue?
It's Michigan blue first, and then followed by the green.
Shots?
Just want to let y'all know this is the mastermind behind everything, man. Thank you.
Love the show. First time guest,
On this
long time
thing.
fan.
Hey,
Really,
absolutely.
Sports Radio.
Raise it.
No, but mine's not really necessarily a weirdo.
Right,
It's
right.
like a weird thing of the week.
Right.
It was a couple weeks ago, but it was like 8:30 p.m. and I get a phone call, and it's a number that doesn't recognize, right? And I'm like, I wasn't gonna answer, but you never know, it might be money. So you
Right,
gotta answer.
right, absolutely.
So
That's number one.
Yeah. So I answered the phone. I'm like, hello, and it's like, hey, this is so and so from the campaign for Rick Caruso, who's running for mayor in LA.
Right.
And I'm like, do I have a second? I'm thinking for a second. And then, your first urge is probably just to hang up or like, nah, I'm good, whatever. Well, it depends. How, I was like, how are things going? And she's like, well, it's pretty difficult, because the far left isn't really voting for him and the far right is not voting for him. And, so we're trying to talk to people. I'm like, yeah, I understand. Well, I'm like, have you talked to the Gen Z market? Are you guys like, she's like, well, they don't really answer, and they don't really get, a lot of them don't get to the polls anyways. And I was like, well, I think they get to the polls a lot more than when you and I were younger and first voting. And she's like, well, that's true. I'm like, but you can't call people. You have to hit them where their attention is. And she's like, wow, I've never really thought about it like that. And I'm like, well, listen, you have to create vertical video content and a value of what he wants to do and how he wants to change things. And you have to put it on TikTok. Give her the whole spiel. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and this.
Selling it.
She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, do you actually have a second? I'm gonna grab a pen. I'm gonna write down your email, and then I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So I give her my email and my phone number, and she's like, would you be interested in volunteering? I'm like, nah. I was like, I won't volunteer, but if I would love to talk to your marketing team. She's like, oh, can I set that up? I'm gonna have them email you. I was like, but first I have to check and see what make sure his politics align with how I'm gonna move forward.
Right.
Check my palm tire.
That's
so
hilarious, bro. A fun fact,
Mark, I'm surprised you didn't have that taped.
I know. I should.
Well, she did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've done that before to like debt collectors and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, can I have some personal information about you? I'm like,
right.
Well, I'm like, where are you from? What are your parents' names? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like,
it's a conversation.
What's so funny is that fun fact, Rick Caruso, he spent $100 million on that campaign, and for that to be part of it,
yeah, right,
reaching out to individuals, asking
they're gonna be hitting your
emails
up, hitting that email up.
Oh man, that's
ideas,
funny,
bro.
man. That's funny, man.
Weird thing of the week. I'll give you a seat back, Joe, bro.
We got the mastermind always working, man. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate that, man. That was a great story, man. It's really funny, man. Because it's the reality right now, right? That's what we do.
100 mil, but still need the man.
All right, Lance, what you
Yeah,
got,
man.
my man? Let's keep this good one going because these been some good ones.
Sounds good, man. Yeah. Well, as I do usually on this podcast, I'm going to take that funny little thing and then we're going to switch it something a little more deeper about this. But video everybody's seen. It occurred the 6th, which was Sunday night, if I believe.
Because you sent it to me like at 4 a.m. on
I woke up
on Monday morning.
Yeah, it was viral. Sophia Rosling, and I want to make sure we say that because she's going to be the weirdo this week. She's already been, outed on the internet.
As she should.
For sure. Yeah, and we don't have to get any further, but to let you guys know what we're talking about is there was an incident in University of Kentucky, the Wildcats. Unfortunately, she was intoxicated and went into a student building where you're not allowed to get into. One of the workers that happens to be a student there as well, she stopped her from going upstairs because it was a men's dorm, so women can't go up.
Right.
Turned into a whole other onslaught as you guys have seen, of racial slurs, physical attacks. The woman that she did this to, Kayla Springs, she was very, very, very nice about the situation and, holding herself back and being very calm because she obviously seen this woman was intoxicated, She drugged the situation out pretty far.
Right.
Friends listened, watched, they filmed it all, got it all on camera. To me, and something I want to get to really quick is that, if we really want to, if we're really talking about it, and I'm looking at my notes really here, alcohol intoxication in the public place, first and second offense, assault 3rd degree on a police officer and a probation officer, assault 4th degree, no visible injury, and disorderly conduct 2nd degree. This is what she was charged with after that.
Right, as she should have.
So for me, just breaking down what we seen, it was just disgusting. I mean, the first thing Joe said, what'd you say to me, man?
I looked at my Instagram and it popped up when I woke up for a minute.
Yeah,
and
I sent it over as soon as I seen it.
Got it, and
it was most vile, one of the most vile things.
I just said,
and I'm glad people were there to record it.
Yeah, me too, man.
Seriously.
Yeah, friends and everybody.
And the girl really was, she was cordial throughout the whole situation.
The whole thing.
This is what I did. I sent you the beer can one picture,
Yeah.
And then what I said was, I wanted to send you something that was funny. Because after watching what you sent me, I was shocked and disgusted and couldn't believe what I just watched.
Absolutely, man.
Just so disturbing. And I'm watching it, and again, it's whatever time in the morning, and just what's going on? Like, what made you do all this? Yeah. Go on a 5-minute rant. I mean, there's a lot, and to the lady you talked about, because I believe this was in the dorms, and they have someone that watches the dorms, and they don't get paid enough, like she said. For her patience and what she did, everyone needs to see that. Yeah. And just remember, there's a lot of good people in here that help out people that do bad things and say bad things. Yeah. I mean, that woman is amazing. I'm trying to spin a little positive because the other lady you referenced the name, you already said it, but it's basically good luck, because your
Life is over.
Life is going to be
Right.
hard.
Seen the video.
It's going to be
They
hard.
basically said, your life's over.
You heard what the girl said.
Oh, yeah.
She said, girl, you don't know what you're
Yeah.
doing. Saddest thing though is the backlash, and I want you to get in on this. I've seen a lot of people supporting her and her stance.
So then it's just more ugly individuals coming forth with how they
Friends
really feel.
from University of Kentucky,
Right.
that were like, hey,
This is really dividing a lot of the
Well,
students
but
and
that's been
everything.
divided there for years. It's just like where it was everywhere else.
what about her losses? What did you guys see? She worked at Dillard's. She got fired from there. She withdrew from Kentucky, which is a big thing because they should have expelled her, right?
Right.
But she actually had to withdraw because her family's invested into the college, you know. So
Yeah.
it's,
I believe
and
her father's a booster.
something of this nature.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a whole. That's why she was so confident in the negligence and speaking the word she was, because she thought.
Right.
But her apology was the worst, and I'm gonna move on from
Oh.
it. But it was so bad, man. I mean, she just is like, "Oh, I was intoxicated. I'm so sorry for what I said. I'm not a racist. I'm not this. I'm not that."
Really?
But, we got 5 minutes of this, and you got criminal charges to back
Hey, man,
this up.
So what's going on in the household?
But see, the thing is, everyone in this room knows when you're drunk or you've been around drunk people, the truth always comes out.
Yep. Truth, kids, and what else? Drunks tell you what.
And bullshit. A lot of bullshit.
They tell you that, man. Yeah, definitely, man. For
Shit
sure.
shows and rainbows.
Absolutely. But
Seriously. Sorry.
speaking of
Sorry.
the weirdos that we just discussed of, and I won't speak their names again, what are the dark side of the DMs that you guys can think of? Now, what I mean by that is negative stuff that you guys catch in there. And mind you, we're not getting blown up like celebrities with hundreds of thousands of followers that got randoms in their DMs. But is there a personal story that you guys can attest to? Maybe something of on a dating app, or specifically Instagram's DMs? I know Joe gets the love.
I've heard, and I don't get a lot of DMs. You know, Il's over there just talking shit like he does.
Stop
I mean,
playing, bro.
it's the
They be
truth.
diving in
No,
there.
it's fine.
Hey, pop your DM right now and show the camera.
The real, my real friends
See, he's quiet.
that I know.
It's okay.
It's okay, man.
I know it's fine. I contact a lot of my people that I really, that I've grown up, my real true friends and family and everything. I talk to them on the phone or text, but someone will hit me up on the gram sometimes, and we'll have fun. But those are my main followers. Now, women, I feel really bad for what they go through with this.
Absolutely.
I couldn't deal
Can you
with it
imagine?
because it's just it's got to be out of control.
If you're beautiful, dick
Yeah.
pic.
Yeah, it's
Harassed
they
all
get
over.
harassed, and it's that's what I think is wrong with it sometimes, and that's why I don't really like it. I mean, I've had a bunch of fake robots hit me up, and I just play games back with them.
Talk about it, please.
I know, seriously,
It's crazy.
I don't even want to get into the robots part.
And they start chatting with you, and they go, "Hey, how are you? I'm good. And how old are you?" And I'll go, "How old are you?" They're like 31. I'm like, and then I'll sit there, CB, and I'm looking, and I'm just like, we just mess with them a little bit, see what happens.
Hey.
I put like this. I'm 85.
Okay. I do not post myself, and I get the weird ones like, "Hey, honey, I was seeing you," and I don't post myself. So how are you seeing me?
How are you seeing me?
Right. Everybody knows I'm really not.
Send me a picture. Did you look at my profile? I mean, come on. It's just it's a 4-minute entertainment sometimes.
Right. I wanted to ask CB why his mic's hot. So when you receive a request of a friend from Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, do you always gauge like the followers versus the the people they're following versus the people that are following them, and can kind of see that, oh, they're only following
How do you
30
backtrack
people, but
check?
they're following 5,000 people, but they only have 20 followers.
It's like 2 posts.
Right.
Oh yeah, you can
like
definitely see if they're real or not. And then the number one kicker for this is you can tell if they bought followers. This is my favorite thing to look at. Is like, let's say they got 32,000 followers, right?
Right on.
Scroll down just a little bit. They're probably gonna have about 100 likes.
Right.
And like to Instagram analytics, you should actually have about 10 to 15% of your followers likes on your
Right.
engagement.
True story.
So like if you don't have that, it's obvious you just spent money and shot yourself in the foot for natural growth on Instagram.
Absolutely, man. And they take away blue checks for that.
CB just said natural growth.
Yes. And speaking of natural growth, I gotta say this: we hit the 100 subscriber mark.
Oh, man.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
thank you guys. We
so
still
much.
stacking it
Yeah.
up.
Appreciate it.
Compadres ain't nothing without y'all, compadres.
Definitely.
Thank
This is
y'all.
a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes,
so
yes,
we ain't going
yes.
nowhere.
Man.
But back to the DMs and with women. I've heard some shit that I couldn't imagine. Well, they have a lot. Women, we all know that we all love them.
Yeah.
They're very, sensitive, beautiful, amazing, great personality, but they go through a lot of shit. They get harassed a lot, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That way, it's even worse now with DMs and everything. I just everybody just be nice to the ladies, and we'd be okay over here, right? You know what I mean?
Toxicness
Right.
needs to stop.
Even
right?
even the whole dating app stuff like that too.
Yeah, I mean,
DMs on that. I mean, unfortunately, I don't do dating apps. I never have done one.
Right.
Never.
Right.
So I wouldn't know the dark side of that or whatever. Can you guys contest to some of the things that you guys?
I got
know?
a good story for you guys. So it's 2019, so Tinder is in its prime, right? So liking, finally meet a young lady, and we are conversing back and forth. We FaceTime, so
It
next
was
level.
authentic. Yeah.
So it's
You said
moving next.
authentic.
Well, that was a real
my
person.
favorite part of that.
It was real.
Man, you ain't a real person, so I sit in front of you, you sit in front of me.
Okay,
That's the way it
okay,
is. I mean,
okay.
let's just be straight. Who knows what? See, that's the other twisted part about. I'm not trying to interrupt your story right
It's
now.
all good. I
I'm
got
just
it.
saying. Let's just be honest. That's like catfish 101. FaceTiming. Okay, then you fucking like what the who the just like in Friday.
Right. And that's
Janet Jackson. More like Freddie Jackson.
that's my
God damn, dude.
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
That's my verification. If you're not gonna FaceTime me, I don't want to.
No, I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
So all good, right? All good. So we end up talking a little bit more, and
Right.
I'm like, hey, let's meet up, have some drinks, right? So goes to that step. So we meet, we pick a day, pick a time to go meet. We meet up and walk into the bar, and you guys might know the place, Furley's.
Yes, sir.
We'll discuss that later. But
Yeah, we will.
I go into the bar, and I walk up and I see the young lady, and I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Lance. Da 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 da. She's like, hey, what's up? Gives me a hug. We start talking for a little bit. About 5 minutes goes by. I see some guy coming from the bar and walks right up to her and puts his arm around her. And I'm like,
Damn.
so like at this point, I'm like, well, is she like on 2 dates at this point, or am like, what's going on?
Speed dating between y'all.
Right. She proceeds to say, and he procedes to say, look me right in my eye and say, hey, we're swinger couple, and we wanted to know if you wanted to be involved in our situation. And I was like, whoa, bro, no hate, but I don't swing that way, but I thought your woman was very beautiful, and he's like, well, you can please her and I can watch. And I was like, that is no way. He's like, I pay you. I was like,
Absolutely
how much?
not.
But no. I said no,
pump fake
obviously,
them?
right?
On the DL, he probably really did it.
No, I
Shit.
didn't. The funniest thing about it all, though, is that I have my Instagram connected to my. So it turned into about a month of them
Harassing
DM
you.
me and talk, proposition after proposition. Went from 500 to 750 to 1,000 to put the D in his girl, and I'm just like, what is this going to turn into if I did? So like that's a negative story for you. How about that?
See, I have a story like that, but it was be telling someone else's story.
So you don't want to do that,
So
right?
yeah, I'm not trying to air nobody out. They are an avid listener, and they would know specifically
There you
what I mean if I told their story. But I'm gonna let it be.
P,
their
I'm glad
history.
you know what not to do, what to do. So that's good.
I'm
Good for you.
learning.
Glad.
I'm learning.
Yes, you should, but that's good. Don't do it.
Absolutely not.
Los
man.
Angeles is it's a crazy city, man. Definitely.
Man, yeah. I don't get really weird stuff in the DMs. I get a lot of support, a lot of people, loving things and stuff like that.
Right on.
Like little tips and stuff like that. But the main thing I will say I get is a lot of people asking to be guests. And the funny thing I take with that is like, man, do you guys know how hard it was to get it to this point with you guys?
right.
Do y'all know how hard it was to get to week 10? So it's just like, I appreciate all the love, but where was this at when I was,
Right,
doing
man.
this in the room?
I hear you,
We
bro.
was doing it in the living room. We was doing it at your place. We did it at your place.
Come up
and
story.
we came to Mastermind.
Absolutely, man.
Man, the grind is real, man. I appreciate y'all.
The guests will be there. That day will come.
We
Yeah.
have I don't even want to say a plethora of just different
People
things to
in
get y'all
mind.
with,
You
man.
guys will see.
You guys are gonna be amazed.
Look at Joe.
Look at Joe go. I'm surprised nobody's really diving in on DM.
No,
Nah, I'm just.
I know they is.
So let me shoot this.
We
jump
will
shot
have
real
some
quick.
guests one day on here.
Absolutely.
Okay, like P said, it's if you weren't there for all the shit that we would got to episode 10, then this wait until we got really coming.
I
So
think Drake said it best. If he wasn't shooting with me in the gym,
fake it till you make it.
They gonna fake it and watch us make it. That's for sure.
speaking of faking it and making it, you guys had a really good one. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey man, I mean, they are playing football. They're playing.
They're quietly dominating.
I wouldn't say dominating. They're a good team. I don't think they're dominating. You think they're dominating? I mean, come on.
Yeah, with the acquisitions that they made.
I don't
tight
like
play.
Kirk, but
Yeah, I know. I don't think anybody in here is a fan of Kurt. I mean, I
did you
think,
see that video?
Yeah,
With the
I
guy's
mean, hey, you know
chains
what?
on.
All the drip. Come on now,
and you know what?
man.
To me, that shows to me, dude. And you say, "Come on, man," whatever. That's team camaraderie.
You're
That's-
right.
That is.
That's
Good
cool
point.
shit. It's
Good
fun.
point.
They're
Good
a
point.
team.
But shouldn't it
was
matter
awkward,
more
but
on the
good point.
field?
No, of course, but they're a team.
Yeah, good point. Absolutely.
They're
You're
a
right.
team. They're playing team football.
Totally right. Yeah.
I mean, we sit there and we look at all these teams right now. Who's doing? They're playing team football. They're a team. You know.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, the Vikings are they're definitely, like I just know Kirk is gonna throw an interception in the last minute.
We all see what's going on. It's
Do what he
just like,
does.
But they're a good team.
Right.
You're right. They're a
can't
good
take
team.
nothing away from it.
Definitely can't, man. I know that, definitely. So I know I'm thinking of our next follow up this week. Do we want to talk
Okay.
about the Colts? And do we talk about the Patriots?
yeah. I mean, hey, why don't you go ahead and tell us about your patties this week and
Let's go ahead and roll that one.
about their victory they had?
I'm gonna start the timer.
All right.
No, this is a victory, not a loss. So he's good.
It's a victory, like you said, victory, not a loss. So I'm good.
Let them shine.
Nah. It's the Colts. I mean, they're the laughing stock right now. There's plenty we're gonna get into about them, but I will say this: Nick Folk, to we trust, 4 for 4 this week, scored all our points. Matt Jones is our starter. I agree. He threw a touchdown, but what scares me is the red zone, and we're just not getting it. We're not scoring touchdowns, man. And we, it's like Kendrick Bourne and all our receivers. I love about Belichick is he'll throw a trick play in there, and he'll switch it up throughout the season. But the red zone inefficiency this week was just terrible. Like trotting the special teams out in the field killed me, but. It's a laughing stock Colts. So I mean, what do we got to say?
I find it funny you say laughing stock.
Yeah, because I want to fire you up.
Okay.
That's what I want you to fire.
I want to go ahead and touch on the Saturday issue. Okay?
Yes.
And this is not to take anything away from Jeff Saturday at all. I don't know Jeff Saturday. I know he was he's a Hall of Famer. He phenomenal player. And it's just. I think the Raiders do weird shit. Like this is just from left field. I mean, you have John Fox on the staff and Gus Bradley, who have both been coaches.
Head coaches.
You have Reggie Wayne on the team as a receiver coach, I believe.
receiver
Or
commodity.
he's a receiver coach.
Yeah.
And you bring in Saturday, why?
Because he's your guy.
But why? I mean,
Best
he's your
friend.
guy. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, the guy, he's a great analyst.
My best friend.
Right.
Great analyst.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a great analyst. And he's been a high school head coach.
That's it.
And okay, are you doing this for morale? I mean, who knows? Maybe he's going to be the coach. I mean, the strange thing for me, real quick, about this whole thing is they play the Raiders. They play shit shill McDaniels. Okay, and if the Raiders lose this week and you don't get rid of him, come on, man.
He's calling for that job, y'all.
I mean, and he brings up Belichick does this, but Belichick don't produce shit, and he coaches out of him. Ryan Clark said it best.
Ryan Clark's dope.
Ryan Clark, and I respect, and that's the whole thing. And I was talking to you guys earlier about this, and I've talked to some of my Raider Nation friends, and dude, like, it's unbelievable.
It is.
I mean, because Belichick was a great coordinator.
He was.
Okay, and he
Shit the
knows
bed.
football.
Yeah, he did.
And Ryan Clark said, "Bad you won because of Tom Brady." Everybody that's coming out there. And that's going to be up for debate. And like Belichick is a great coordinator. Yeah, and he's got all the chips with Brady and everything else. But bro, McDaniels, this is an utter embarrassment. And people are pissed. People were really pissed. I mean, you got Devontae. I mean, the locker room's not straight. That's why we were saying we were talking about Cousins, but look at the team.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to name a person I met over the weekend when I was working, but it was awesome. I told you guys because he was a nice guy.
Right.
He was an old OC for the Raiders back in like from like I believe it was like 89 to 93. He was on the team when they won an 83 championship. I saw him when he came in and he was coming. He goes, "Yep, you know, I wouldn't go put up with this shit. They should have got rid of him." And I looked up and I pointed at his ring and he goes, "Hey, you want to catch it?" I go, "No, I'll come over and see it." I went over, introduced myself, told him I was a Raider fan, and
that's cool.
We were talking about Bisaccia, you know, and he should have stayed. And Gus Bradley, it's just it's crazy to me. So
And you told him about us for life, right?
Oh yeah, he knows. But I mean, it's like I said, why? It's in that this game for Saturday, if they could beat them.
If they lose to the Colts, I'll tell
I mean,
you what.
you know, it's just think about that.
All I gotta say about the Saturday hire is this: I feel like that's Irsay's boy, and he kind of is sick of. They're having such a bad season.
Right.
Now everybody's taking.
They're trying to get it all up. I
think
get
he
that
just
from a
is trying-
business
morale, business standpoint.
But who knows? It might be it. He might,
Familiarity.
you know.
If they listen, McDaniels will be on the hottest seat in the NFL if they lose.
He's already on it.
No. This Saturday, that's why I said laughing stock. This Saturday thing.
Did you see what Rich Eisen said recently
I've seen
about
it.
Josh
I
McDaniels?
didn't. I didn't get a
Let me
chance to-
let the audience
let
know.
the audience
Please do,
know.
please.
And Rich Eisen, I'm a big fan of, and all these analysts, I'm a big fan of. I'm
Eisen's
Eisen. I like Coward. I like Shannon Sharp. I like Swagoo. I like Ryan Clark. And they all said that, even Irvin,
Right.
And even Stephen A, who he's cool. He's just too much for me. But they all say the same thing.
Yeah.
But I just, at the end of the day, it's just a shit show right now.
It's tough.
You know, and we're gonna go on with it.
got
Adding
a
on to
squad.
your Bill Belichick thing with the Tom Brady. Just gonna
Yeah.
novice this one.
Really?
Who's won since the departure?
Hey man,
So that's kind
There
of
you go.
it's going to be a discussion for a long time, like he said, definitely. But you know who's going to be in the discussion for a long time? Patty Mahomes in that Tennessee game.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, but did you watch that game?
Let me tell you something. 68 passes. What was it? 43, 68? 443
Yeah,
yards.
yeah.
One touchdown.
Right.
I mean, Patty's dope, but it's just like, where is this offense coming from? Like, you move up the ball up and down the field
Right.
like that, but like, how good are you really going to be? I mean, the AFC is crazy this year. I mean, there's going to be a lot
Well, I
of
thought
teams to get in the
everybody
playoffs.
did.
Lot
And the
of
thing
solid
is,
defense.
back to that game, I was working watching it. These damn calls, bro. I mean, I saw one play, bro. I was just like, you couldn't see that was pass interference.
Right.
What was that clip you sent where the dude actually moved the ball with
Yeah,
his foot?
yeah.
That was hilarious. I seen that.
Yeah.
And you've seen referees put like
No, there's all
Remember
kinds
that-
of shit
that
that
video?
goes on.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
dude, like, you know, Tennessee was getting 12 and a half points. So for people out there know about betting spreads when you bet on a team,
right.
if you pick Tennessee to win last week, they were getting 12 and a half points, and they lost by, I believe it was 3. I can't remember the score offhand.
So, yeah, they could beat them
were
by
at
12,
and a half,
yeah.
and they should have beat them.
They should have.
There was Derrick Henry's balling.
117, 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
But the offense is not letting the rookie quarterback get loose.
Well, I don't know. Dude, that was a tough game for him.
It was.
I mean, that's a
defenses haven't been
very,
able to
very
adjust
hard
to him.
environment to play in.
Absolutely.
Arrowhead, I've never
Okay.
been there, but I just know. I mean, so I would give them some time to see what happens. I mean, Kansas City does look like the front runner right now. You know, I mean, I know P's probably very upset about his Saints.
You know what?
But
you know what? You are saying a lot of things about them Ravens, though.
Say
Yeah.
it with your
But
chest.
I will say this. You know who that all the way.
Right, of course, but they didn't look good,
Even
bro.
though he only threw, when I say he, Lamar Jackson, he only threw for 130 yards with one touchdown.
But he does
But
that ball now.
that rushing game
Oh, man.
and that defense is what.
No,
what
I
did it
mean
for
that's
him.
the thing, and that's why when they went and got Roquan Smith, I was like,
They onto
okay,
something.
now they got Djax back.
They're
Djax,
scary.
I mean,
He's opening up the
that
offense.
offense to me is a scary offense,
It's
and
very
it's not even all pumping right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
And Mark Andrews isn't back. When he's
Right.
come back,
Yeah,
it's
Mark
over.
Andrews
And
is a
he's
big
their
piece
number
of
one
that.
target.
Yeah, he is.
You know, so I'm seeing they're one of my teams that we talked about. I thought, but that game, I mean, New Orleans, they just play around.
It's a
You
seesaw
know,
with
it's a
us,
seesaw
with
with them. I
them.
mean, the Baltimore looked like the better team,
Yeah.
but you know, it's just like we all saw the Jets Bills game. Right.
20-17.
2017, and
And
Wilson to
it
Wilson
was-
connection is
Yes,
It's
real.
serious.
It's real.
serious.
I mean, Zach's balling, Garrett's ball. I mean, you guys got, what was it? Was it 8 and 9 and what 100 and
Yeah.
I mean, the guy balled out.
And
I think
Sauce
that's
Garner.
I mean, that defense is, and there's nothing to talk about. What are we
And it
saying?
was so
There might
funny.
be real.
It was so funny to hear about. I had a Revis reference this week.
Revis
Really?
Island.
Already?
Yeah, and he was talking about Saucy, and I was
Playing
like,
saucy.
and I go because he said he was from New York. I go, so the Giants, Jets. Like I looked at him, like, yeah, good for you. Happy? He goes, and he just went into it because we talk about fan bases, you know, and it was great because I mean, again, the Jets were getting 12.5 points,
I know.
and they beat them.
They beat them good. I mean, did you see that game?
Yeah,
That was-
they beat him up. They beat Josh through 2 picks. I mean, he didn't look good. They
He
got
threw
beat
for
up.
200, but
That
2
defense.
picks.
Yeah.
Side note, really quick, just to be funny, Sauce Gardner. He branded so well, didn't he? He's got his own sauce out now. He's got the chain with the he's selling
Right.
all this stuff. Oh man, and he's backing it up on the field.
His
Right.
play is up. Up
He
to
didn't
par for
Baker
rookie.
Mayfield.
I'm happy for
Right.
him. I mean,
I'm
I
happy for
saw
him.
something really sad that I didn't know if it was real or not. I didn't send it to you guys because you brought up Baker.
Yeah.
And they showed him on the scout team playing like D-line or some shit.
Oh, man.
I don't think it was real. There's no way it could have been, but I just saw it. I just, I
probably
feel
was
bad for
playing
the guy. You know,
around.
good for the Jets and for the Jets, you know,
Yeah,
playing
both
like a
New York
team together,
teams.
you know?
Like, the Giants and I mean, how long has it been since both those teams?
Oh, no, I
been
think it's
decent?
awesome. It's great.
That's awesome. I love
It's
to see
great.
it. That's the biggest, sports media market in the country. So in the world, pretty much New York.
Right.
I mean, outside of Los Angeles, Miami. Outside of that, that's all you got. So yeah, that
And
definitely.
even the Miami-Chicago game last week,
I
bro.
mean-
I mean,
Hey, Tua.
dude, but no, hold on now. Hold on. I know you're a Miami guy too. I want to talk about Justin Fields.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay. Give it to
Justin Fields.
what to come up.
I mean, I hope it all works out for them because that guy can ball. I
He
mean,
has a number 1 receiver now.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big play. It's got to take some time, but they're going in the right direction, and I think they do have some pieces in place, and I think. Fucking he's over here smiling and shit the whole time.
Because I'm waiting to jump into this because I got a lot to
No,
say.
He's taking pictures while we're doing shit.
Oh man,
I love
he's
this
just
shit.
gonna put me out like
Hey,
that.
I'm gonna
have fun with you on that one.
I was
Stall
taking
him out,
pictures.
man. Stall him
I
out.
am ill son. Follow me up, and I'm just joking.
Give me your moment, bro.
Stall him
Give me
out.
your moment. That's what I was trying to do, but this is great. So,
That
but
was
no,
funny.
Fields, he's good,
Baller,
man.
man.
I mean,
Baller.
and Miami, they're not my team. I think that's gonna. I mean, I was talking about the odds when they AFC. I mean, they're gonna make a run, but let's talk about this week. I mean, you got Dallas going to Green Bay,
Okay.
Cold one.
and they're getting Green Bay's getting 4.5 at home in Green Bay. I mean.
Let's make some predictions, P. What you
Okay,
got?
okay,
Dallas, Green Bay, 4.5.
Green Bay. Okay. So
Give me a
I'm
score.
gonna just do a score prediction.
Give me a
Easy,
score
easy.
and a winner.
Easy, he says.
I got 28-24.
Who?
The Cowboys.
Oh, wow. That's a good call.
How about them Cowboys?
Where you at, Joe?
28-24, huh?
Yeah.
You want to bet on that?
Sure. Let's bet a beer.
Already starting.
Man, I ain't making no bets
I'm
with
getting-
anybody
hey,
on this
I'm
table.
off the tab.
Hold on, Pete.
I'm off the tab.
Hold on, Pete. No, just listen. I'm not making any bets on this. Anybody on this table outside, I will because Lance still owes me about 4 drinks.
He ain't gonna let that go.
Like 3 years ago, but it's all good.
Man, the C word happened. What were we supposed to do, bro?
Right, man.
I would say I think I don't. I don't like doing scores too much.
Okay.
I think the Cowboys win. I think the Cowboys beat them pretty well, but I also think it might be a low-scoring game. I don't know. See, I mean, I'm indecisive on it. You put me on the spot, P. I mean, here's the thing. They're playing in Green Bay. It's November, and it's cold there.
Right.
It's getting
Lambeau,
there.
frozen
They're
tundra.
going to Lambeau, and there's history. Everybody knows there's history in that game.
There is.
But I think it might
That's
be it
catch.
could be a little lopsided. I mean, it's all going to be up to Aaron, and if I was going to put a score on it, I would say it'd probably be 30-21 Cowboys.
Okay.
I expect the Cowboys to win.
I like
So
that.
Hey, we're on the same page. Frozen Tundra,
Right.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, what's going on in that locker room right now? The reports. I mean, and what he's saying just to the media. Like who says and announces that they're a 2-time MVP of the NFL?
obviously he does, brother.
He's the only one.
Someone who's licking toes.
Right.
Seriously.
God.
Laying on the beach. But The funniest thing is that I think that I can't stand Dallas. Just to let you guys know,
Right.
all you Dallas fans.
His DMs might blow up this week.
Hey, look, 35-17, and I'm giving him 17 because I think Aaron plays very well against the Cowboys, 7-2. They had that debacle.
So you're telling me that they're going to beat by 17?
I think they're going to beat the brakes off of the Green Bay
Statement game.
Packers.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Dak, and they got a lot to say.
But if they don't,
Hey,
it could go sideways
I'm
real
wrong
quick.
then.
Yeah, no, it could. No, I'm saying that Dallas could go sideways real quick if they don't win this game.
Zeke's
In my
supposed to come
opinion.
back,
Well,
so that's going to open up that running game.
well, yeah, and you got and like I said, Aaron's 7-2 against him. So it's like, I mean,
It's a bigger
history
game
does
than
it.
they say. I mean, it's going to be a big turning point for both teams.
He's
Yeah, it
a
is.
bad man.
And that's going to be a big game, just definitely like we said. But I mean, what's even bigger is going to be the what we talk about, the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings game. I mean, I want predictions and I want some scores. And
Hey, right now,
I'm going to hit it first. Then,
Minnesota's getting 6.5, and I thought it was be 7 before we looked at the line. I told you.
6.5.
I'm telling you what, man. I don't see it.
From whom?
I think the Bills get them this week, and I think I think they're pissed. They're not happy with what happened. I
Bounce
mean,
back.
they have a couple losses in their division. Buffalo's given 6.5.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I think it's gonna. I could see it as a blowout game.
You think Buffalo blows them out?
Yeah, I think so. But again, it's just like these are the games right now that we're talking about. I mean,
Right.
the Packers are 3-5.
Yeah.
Right, they're playing 6-2 Dallas. Now you have 6-2 Bills against the 7-1 Minnesota.
7-1
I mean,
Minnesota.
this is where you start to see these are records. This is what it's all about.
Separate
And
men
I'm
from the
telling
boys.
you, like, I don't know. I think Buffalo. Everyone's been on them. They got a good team. Let's see what happens on their bounce back because they have to come out. I just think I could see it happening. It's kind of like what you said earlier about Cousins in a way.
Yeah.
Mm.
I got it a little closer than you do. I think it's going to be a closer game. I got 27-24 Buffalo.
Okay.
And I do that because, like I alluded in the previous topic we were speaking on, is I don't trust Kirk. And Michigan
You said
State
it straight
product,
up. You said it straight up, bro.
and he does it all the time. It's the same thing. It shits the bed in the end of the game. But I think Buffalo's defense this week, I just think they're gonna quiet that Viking Kong they do, right? Kong skull, right? They're gonna quiet that this week. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one. Now, where you at, P?
I got 32-24. So I felt that 24 that you threw out there, but I got 32 that the Bills are going to put up. It's a statement making game. They,
that's what I
they
thought.
they felt embarrassed last week,
Yeah.
and nobody was predicting the Jets were going to pull that.
Well,
one
no,
off.
man. I mean, Vegas is king, brother.
Vegas is king.
I mean,
Yeah,
Vegas
you
is
definitely
cleaning
say
up right
We
now.
say that every
week. I mean, and I think the Jets are a good football team.
You know what I think? I think we need to make a trip to Vegas and play some bets, man.
I ain't going to Vegas.
Road trip for some bets? No, we need to fantasy football or nothing. I'm just trying to get
look,
some money, man.
I'm gonna hold you.
I understand that.
I'm gonna remember what our scores next week. So when we come back next week for our
I
episode,
just said
we're
a
gonna
blowout.
talk about
I
it.
just said blowout.
Okay,
That's all I
so,
said.
So
I'm
for
not
that first
putting it in
game, do
blowout.
we have that bet for the beer?
No, I ain't betting. I told you I'm not betting anybody at this
Man.
table
Or
at
do we
all.
have to
Because
do
no one
die and
pays
do?
because no one pays their debt to me.
Oh,
Lance has been open with me
I
for a
owe him
couple
nothing,
years.
but nobody pays a debt.
It took you forever to get me a beer. We made a beer. It took how long did it take you to get me that beer?
The first time we all hung out.
No. Hold
do
on.
I get the beer?
I owe
But
Joe
hold-
2
but
beers.
Oh, no, actually,
Hold on.
birthday. Lance's birthday.
Hold on.
The
Hold
day
on.
drinking.
I
Let's
want the
talk about
audience
one.
to listen to what
Let's
I'm
talk
saying.
about this.
I made a bet with this man
Right.
before
wanted to
we
say
even
mother.
got. Yeah, I did. Before we even started Compodres, it was going on for I'm going to say over a year that he owed me a beer, and then he finally paid it when we sat down to talk about Compodres business. So, and the way I look at things is saying no.
We got around that mountain, right?
No, you did. Not me. You owed me a damn beer. It
Hey.
took you a long time. Lance, I got credits with Lance too.
He does.
And I'm a little upset about it, but whatever.
We made
we'll
some
keep
bets.
it going.
These
no, I ain't
beers are
making
from
no
like 10
bets.
These beers were from like 2019.
And one of it because I did him a favor.
He did. He got one of my friends hired.
You know, so
Name
hey,
undisclosed.
unbelievable.
The funniest thing though is I want to talk about the first time we all got together on the 30, and then we ordered those Raspado shots, and then what did I do,
Sorry.
guys? Can you please expand on that story for me?
Sorry, I was the not smart one to order those drinks. How much were they also?
Oh man,
Like,
those were like $17,
much was a
$18 a shot.
all right. Well, basically, you know,
This is hilarious.
He just disappears into the night.
No, I already knew what he was going to
disappears into
do.
the- Hold on one second,
And tell
guys.
him what I did.
Hold on one second, you guys.
He
Be
went
right
to go
back.
yak. He went to go throw up.
He let it
because
out.
he couldn't handle it.
Oh, but no, we transferred across the street and he had another drink.
Transferred across the street.
Yes, we transferred across the street and he had another drink.
Did we
Man,
have
all right, so-
like someone pick him up, take him
So,
over?
in my defense, I was drinking vodka already.
Yes,
And I decided we all took a shot of tequila, and it hit me up wrong. And,
my bad.
And I did. You know,
Why is it your bad?
Urkel
Because
why?
I made him do light and
You
dark.
made him do nothing.
Nothing. I put
He's
it in my
a
body.
grown man.
Right. You're
He
right.
could have said no.
You're right.
I can't stand when people do that.
But you know what he did? He was
He's
like,
a grown ass man.
I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
I did say that, but I did it. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all your fault, right, B? You're like, here. And
Man.
Lance
Hey, but
like,
look.
I can't take it. And then he goes, I'm going to take it. And then now you take it. No.
My bad, man.
Don't-
apologize
give
for
yourself-
things that's not my fault.
No, that isn't your fault. Give yourself
Exactly.
some credit. He knew what the he was getting into, okay? And he knew what was going to happen. He just
look.
wanted to be compadres, all, get together. We're going to do
Also,
something.
he wasn't the only one that yacked that night. So this is a story that Joe constantly brings up too, because
I haven't brought it
unfortunately,
up in weeks, but
Really?
they can't drink with me.
anytime we go somewhere to eat,
don't do that,
anytime we go
Joe.
somewhere to eat,
Don't
he's bringing
you do
up,
that.
oh, weak
I can
stomach,
drink with
weak
you.
stomach. And
Oh,
it
no,
only
no,
happened
because,
one time.
seriously, you got sick and I ate the same stuff. You got sick and I felt bad for you.
Well,
Hey.
I felt bad for you.
Well, you
So
told me
both of
P has-
you
P
yacked
has
the first time
stomach
we hung
issues.
up.
You know, not everything can go in this body, and unfortunately, them tacos was not one. So it came out the wrong way.
No, but you got
Both
sick.
ways.
You
One
got
time,
sick, right?
too.
I felt bad. You
one
got
time.
sick.
10 episodes later, we're still here.
Hey, look, I puked in class. I had no stains. You would never know I puked if you guys weren't in the situation.
Okay, hold on,
So,
hold on.
Smooth operator.
What, are you going to bring up Hollywood? What?
How do you drink? How do you puke classy?
This is how you puke classy, because
Back in
I'm
the way.
glad you brought that
Back in
up.
the way.
I mean, okay. So now we're talking
Don't
about
get it on the
professionally
kicks.
puking.
Watch the kicks.
I'm going to look into the camera like we talked
Watch
about
the
today.
kicks.
First thing you do is you got to step back from your kicks.
Let them know.
The shoes have to be back at least about 2 to 3 inches from your puke radius. Then you have to tuck your shirt in, right? So that you don't get it on the shirt after the puke is gone.
Let them know.
Thirdly, the puke projectiles have to be very violent
Puke radius.
so that they don't get anywhere near your outfit.
Let them know.
Then you wipe your sweat and your red eyes off and you tuck it all away and then you come back smiling.
Like nothing ever happened.
There we go.
Wow, that
How to
was
puke
awesome.
101.
That was a great
Classic.
nugget from Lance the Man
There you
himself,
go,
man.
dude.
Dropping them nuggets, bro.
Wow,
Throw up 101.
wow.
I remember
Radius.
I remember
man.
Radius, he said.
speaking of radius, 2-for-1s in Hollywood. BOGOs. Joe, remember that day?
Yeah, I remember that day. What a.
Can you let them know?
Nah, you go out and about here now, and there's all these specials and this and that, and it's just sometimes, the food's garbage most of the time. It's not good. But when you get 2 drinks for one, yeah, it's going to bring. But you also, if you're doing that on alcohol, then the food can't be that good because they're not spending the money. They got to make the money up somehow. So,
Absolutely.
bar food to me has always been fun. Anytime I go out, I like to sit at the bar, and there's always debate if it's fresh, if it's frozen, and it goes on more than we think. And I could tell right away. Me and Lance were at an establishment. I don't want to say, and I told him straight up. And it's still going on. And I know for a fact, because I know how restaurants work, they have to prep it. There's no way they're going to pay anybody to prep it and slice the chicken and flour. And no, they're getting frozen shit and just popping it in.
So Lance, let the
come
audience
on.
know where
right.
this all comes from.
So I'll give you guys a backdrop. we're at the establishment, and he's gonna say he doesn't want to say, but I'll say
No,
Furley's.
don't say that. No, because I don't like.
I already brought it up earlier.
I know you did.
I brought it up earlier. So I'm gonna say Furley's. We go there. It's around the corner from us. It's around the corner spot.
Right.
That's everybody knows, So, but we go in, and they have good prices on bar food and
They
good prices
do.
on
And
drinks.
it's decent food. It's decent food.
So we go there, we get the chicken tenders and nachos. There's all types of different things that we enjoy. But chicken tenders come out. We've been going for years, and we eat them. I'm gonna tell you like this, like Joe said, most places and bar food is frozen because you look at actual versus theoretical, which is AVT, and that's food costs, and you understand that when
Right,
you look into the
exactly.
business. So you're not gonna really run a food cost too high when your price point is drinks.
Right, exactly.
Now that's not everywhere in the country. Now if we talk about where I'm from, like Preston would say, and from Michigan now.
Michigan.
Now the businesses are tied in together, and even in Atlanta, Georgia, strip clubs sell chicken wings.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a part of
Right.
where it's at as far as business models. But back to Furley's, I beg to differ, my friend.
And I'm the monkey in the middle all the time.
I think that chicken. I think the chicken might be frozen. Listen, I think it might be
There you
frozen.
go. That's all I wanted to
But
hear.
listen,
That's all I wanted to hear.
Let me-
That's all I wanted to hear.
retracting
That's all I
now.
wanted to
Let
hear.
me finish. I think it might be frozen. They thaw it, and then they batter it and fry it themselves.
I'm telling you,
which
bro,
is-
that's too much prep.
but versus
What-
breaded frozen
Okay,
ones.
right. But what I'm saying is, at what the cost is.
Right. I get it.
Because we can go, and I'm not going to say they're good. They're one of my better ones I've had, because I've seen them. And if you see the big ones with all the big crust and it's half an inch, come on.
More bread than
But
meat.
that is lightly bread, but you can get them like that way too. It's fun to have this discussion because, there's places that I won't go to ever again because it's cheap and it's bad, cheap food.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
And you can tell when you get it. It's like I've told people before. When you see fries or fried food that's a little dark, that means they haven't changed the oil.
Yeah,
Right.
That's big time. Yeah.
And they need to change the oil. Some places do it every half day. It's usually once a day they have to change it because I'm telling you, it's bad. It's not even good. The food is horrible when it's fried that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
bad
man.
oil.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different factors into it, but I'm telling you, Joe,
I know where this is going.
they buy those chicken tenders from Ralph's, the frozen ones, probably Tyson brand, to be honest with you, and they thaw them in their freezer, in their cooler. They let them get to 41. They pull them out, and then they have probably like their dredge, and they probably have flour, and they just when the order comes in, they boom boom.
So
into the
they
fryer.
are frozen.
Lightly.
The chicken itself.
They're frozen. You said the chicken tenders, so they're frozen.
Being specific, I thought you were talking about them being pre-breaded and frozen versus frozen chicken.
I think that too. I think either way, it's not right.
Either way,
Okay, because you said they were fresh, which when I think they should be prepped because we all know chicken usually holds for about 3 to 5 days.
But if you put it in the freezer, it lasts a lot longer.
Yeah, but when you don't get no restaurant, you shouldn't get restaurant food like that.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
I think CB got something to say. What you?
There is a big difference between freshly fried and frozen, and I agree with Lance. If they're frying it there, that's fresh.
Right.
It's not fresh.
We
It's
definitely
gonna
gotta
have
get you
that, like
there.
when you bite into a chicken tender and you get that little bit of oil.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. You ain't getting that out of a frozen Tyson bag. That's all I got.
It's pretty much like I want to say 85% meat. The other 15 is
Rib
like
meat.
the bread. That for me, it just opens up, and I like it. I personally don't have a problem with it.
I didn't say they were bad at all. I like them.
I know you do.
This is the whole debate with
It's
him
funny.
thinking he knows about all this shit. And it's not right. I mean, come on, dude. Do you think Buffalo Wild Wings has good wings?
No.
on
they're
Wednesdays. On Wednesdays,
Used to.
Furley's wings are better. I
okay.
remember one place that I'm not going to mention at all.
Pineapple.
No, there's no way. No, there's no way. They have good wings. They're too expensive.
Brought it out.
I don't hate them at all. There's no way I'm going to support establishments
I
anymore.
know,
There's
I
a lot
know.
of reasons
you know
behind
what?
it.
People don't know what I
absolutely
said.
And you don't even know. You don't even. You're trying to.
No,
you
I'm
hold
just-
on. You don't even know. You don't even know where the place is.
I
You're
can't
trying to get
laugh
involved.
about it though.
you
I've heard so
don't.
much in the backgrounds about this place from YouTube. I think
You
it's
don't
hilarious.
go out to places a lot.
I don't.
Okay.
That's why I had to ask
So
about.
you go with
know,
us when we go. And there's nice
one of the
establishments
places,
out there.
One of the places that I did go to that I no longer do go to anymore, the establishment that's right across from us, before everything went all crazy and
Blue
stuff
Dog.
in the world, yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah, no.
they actually did have some good food at one
Their
point in
wings are good
time.
there. Their
Everything
wings are
switched
good.
up. That's what I will say. Their wings are pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Now the
Definitely.
Blue Dog burgers.
I mean, burgers.
$17 for a burger.
But that's where a good burger goes now, because it's about cost and it's about prepping. What I said. I mean, you can't find a really good burger now for under $15.
Oh, I mean, that's
At
impossible.
a restaurant.
Yeah,
A good one.
With the increase in
No, I'm not
inflation,
talking about
right?
McDonald's
No.
and Burger King, because I know you're a Domino's guy.
I got
so
one for you, man.
I'm just telling you.
Have you been to Burger Lounge?
No.
Burger Lounge is cool.
And it's under $15 for
Grass
the burger.
fed.
Yeah.
Grass, and you can pick different types of meat.
Chicken sandwich is
Are they
cool.
involved with Domino's somehow, or?
Absolutely not, but they're
Just
just
make
as
sure.
good.
You know
They're
where the
just as
Gelson's
good.
is? It's in
Yeah.
that plaza.
Yeah.
I'm not really
Yeah.
into a burger
Yeah,
right now,
it's
but
okay.
that's what quality costs. That's the whole
definitely.
thing.
Yeah.
You sit there and talk about, and sometimes you would see how a salad on a fast food menu is more than a burger or a chicken sandwich. Come on, man.
Right.
What kind of quality are you getting?
Yeah. Yeah, and like I touched a little bit on it, and Atlanta, Georgia, when I was there, the best wings in the state are at strip clubs.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that hilarious? So you think of that business model.
No.
right?
I mean, there's places out there. Someone was telling me, I can't remember. This is years ago, about a steak at a strip club. It was like $4.95. Was good.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they said they came from like Ruth Chris or something like that.
Right.
Well, I mean, you find just hidden little places all the time that the
Yeah.
food is fired. Like Valley Inn's one of my favorite spots. I told you.
Yeah, Valley Inn is really dope, man.
I mean, that food is good there. I mean, it's just little places. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Even touching on your Atlanta thing with the wings.
that's so funny,
Lemon
though, right?
Pepper Lou.
Right, Lemon Pepper Lou. That's
He got his nickname basically from eating wings
Magic City.
in Magic City.
Yeah. They're fire, bro. I'll tell you one thing. But I had a little spot at Lansing, Michigan called Ida's. It's a pool hall / dance club / restaurant, right? So they embody all these businesses into one. So those are the establishments that I really enjoy.
No, I mean, that's
the
me
food
too,
is fire
you know, I
there,
mean, yeah.
in those places. But like you said, most places that have a big business, a corporate machine behind them, the food's not going to be.
no,
where we
it
think
can
is.
be. I mean, I've been to some good places.
It's nostalgia,
that are
right?
good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some good places. There's
Casa
some good food.
Vegas, what do you know?
Nah, I'm not a big Costa Vega fan,
I was
bro. I
wondering.
was when I was back in the day. I'm not now. No, when I first moved out here, it was fire, but Sauce and Beer, I was a big fan
Salsa
of too.
Beer,
I won't.
I've been
Last time I went there, I won't go back again there either for one
Did
reason.
you have a bad experience?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, man.
It wasn't,
I like
it wasn't the
Salsa and
same.
Beer.
Yeah.
And it's something to some people.
Was it a food experience?
Kind
Or was
of.
it-
I mean, here's the thing. Okay, it wasn't as good as it used to be when we went after the P word.
Right.
And people might take this the wrong way when I say that to the audience or even someone in this room, but to me, it's just plain basic. Let me know what's going on.
Right.
Don't put a surcharge on my check for $1.70.
Oh, that's terrible.
And not tell me about what it is.
Hidden
It did
fees.
this- No, I'm done with that.
That's horrible.
Okay,
Right.
you're doing good.
Agreed.
You don't tell me that. I'm
Agreed.
done.
That's like fishing for a tip.
That's just who I am.
I thought it
it's
made
not.
you-
It's the principle of the whole thing. It's not. It's $1.70. That's fine. Just tell me what's going
Just
on.
let me know.
You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to say it made you blow it
Oh,
out
no,
your
no. I
ass.
really liked it. You know, I was a big fan of that place for a long time. And you know, so
Yeah, definitely, man. I definitely heard that, man. That's a funny,
Man,
funny.
That was lit.
Yeah,
that was lit,
man.
fellas, compadres, man. I can't say too much about this episode, but I will say thank y'all again as always tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, drop some some comments, duck and dive into the DMs and everything. And again, it's at COMPODRES. To my left, I got the man himself,
Lance the man. I am _ill son.
and to my right, I got the Mitz himself.
reside in the his eye.
No, he should say, what is it? Floppy?
No. Just it's reside in the his eye.
I'm not poofy.
I tried to not say
Hey,
it on
P, I'm
purpose.
telling you, bro. I'm sorry. You're getting me there a little bit. You're bringing up shit you don't know about.
I don't. I haven't
Let's
had
just
the
back
luxury
up
of
a little
hearing
bit.
it.
Let's just back up a little
We
bit.
got a minute 36 left. What?
No,
Let's
just
talk
back
about
up
it.
a little bit, you little robot ass freak. Just watch what you do.
So let me ask the question.
Let me ask the question.
Is the individual that still calls you Poofy, is she the only one that's allowed to?
Do you listen to
no
the
one
show when we
else?
do this?
No one else?
No, I'm being serious. Did you not
No
hear
one
what
else.
he said last week?
Is she still allowed to? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, she is, bro. But do you listen to anything we do. No. So I said one person calls me this, and a week later you're bringing up the
If
same
she's
shit.
still allowed. That's all the
That
question was,
energy.
brother.
Pete, I'm not even getting to you because you don't listen.
Okay.
You don't listen.
The person that
Yes,
speaks
she's
is
allowed.
not listening.
No,
Okay.
you don't listen.
Okay.
It's funny to me. You don't listen.
You
love
guys
it.
are
I
so
love
funny,
it.
man. It's like two old men. Remember those?
love
fights?
it. I love it.
That's funny, man. Hey, we said Joey Mitz, didn't we?
Whatever. Just sign the damn thing off.
Once again, it is your host with the most, SB Press. Ilson to my left, Rizza to my right. Thank you, compadres, for tuning in again. And like that, we're gone.
We gone.